What's happening YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video. You join me down at BCA Preston collecting the next car in the Road to RS series, so let's get into it. Right, so here we go then, we're picking up a car. I didn't think it was up here in the collection bay. I've had a quick look around before I've gone in, but it is apparently. So let's see if we can find the next car for the channel. Now I put it on my Instagram, some of you may have already seen that, and some of you have actually guessed, aha, here it is, here is the little car that we're buying. First impressions then, it looks alright, yeah. It's a grade 2 car, so it looks good. Yeah, we're going to jump in it, got a little errand to run with the wife, and then we'll get to where we reveal them and we'll go from there. So yeah, let's jump in. Right, so I can't actually get in the driver's side, so I'm going to have to click the ignition on, get the handbrake off and just push it forward because the cars are that crammed in here. I'm not going to reveal the car to you, so I'm just going to film this from the inside, just doing the little, there we go, come on. Oh, the heaters are on, radio's on. So it's a light car clearly because I'm literally pushing it on my own. So it's a light, oh well, so it says that, I'm going to just do it a bit over. Right, let's see if we can get in the other side. Will it start? It's alive. Sounds nice and healthy. She's moving. She's moving. You'll probably get it, you might guess what it is, but she's moving. I had to push out, it was a nightmare that, but we're out. It sounds alright, sounds healthy enough. So right, let's get out of the car park and we'll go from. So here we go then, it is raining a little bit. So here we go, I have got the car in the spot where we reveal them. It is just in front of me. Now, so if you don't know me on this journey, I am trying to trade my way up to to a Focus RS. That's my dream car. I've got a Mk2 Focus ST, that's a little bit poorly at the minute. There'll be a video coming on that shortly, if it's not out before this one. But this is just a stepping stone. It's not a key pot, it's a stepping stone in that journey to get to a Focus RS. Like I said, I have had one of these before and I have featured it on the channel before. But welcome everybody to my 2008. We're doing it all over again. Project TT is back. Mk2 Audi TT. Right, so here it is then. But before we kind of speak about this car, you might be thinking, well, you've done one of these before on your channel, why are you doing another one? Well, the last one I bought was a police repossession. It was a very different kind of car to this one, believe it or not. But we'll get into that in a second. The reason that I'm doing one of these, it might not draw loads more attention to the channel because we've already featured one, but it might equally as well, just because I'm quite low level. But the point of this journey, of this Road to RS series, is just to buy and sell cars so we get kind of to a Focus RS. That's the idea. Now, I've done a Fiat 500 and I've done a Mini one, which I actually quite like both cars. I preferred the Mini, but anyway, so I bought this car. It's just another stepping stone. I could have gone and bought like a Corsa or a Mini. That's like the budget where I'm at while I'm building the pot of money. But then this came up and I thought, well, this is a little bit more exciting along the journey than just kind of a first time buyer's hatchback that probably won't get much interest. This might generate a little bit more interest. But we've already, so the black car then, the black car that I did was bought from a police repossession place. It was repossessed at the roadside, I believe. It smelt very herbal inside when I got it. It was a bit of a dog of a car when I got it, and I did a lot of work to it, and I got it up and I sold it and I did make a bit of money, and it was a nice car in the end. I put a lot of work into it and I made it a nice car. This car, now with the police repossession stuff, you only get one key, you don't know the history, you don't get any history, you don't get any books or packs or anything, you literally get the car and one key. Whereas this is come from auction, just like where the 500 and the Mini come from. It's come from an auction, the same place, but looking at it, it looks like it's been part exchanged at a BMW main dealership. And this car has got 2 keys, it's had 3 previous owners, it's only done 73,000 miles on a 2008, so it's very low mileage for its age, and it's just a very nice, clean and tidy example of a Mk2 Audi TT. Now I think there's profit in this car. There's not thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pounds, there's just not that type of profit in them at this stage. But that said, it does need a little bit that's going to eat into that profit. So let's have a look around the car, then we'll talk about what I think it might need to get it over the line. So here it is then. This is my Mk2 Audi TT, and it is in the silver. It's got the standard 17-inch alloy wheels, no optional extras there. It has got the half leather and Alcantara seats. Actually, so the last one I had full red leather. I actually prefer these half leather and Alcantara seats. I think they're a lot nicer. We've got the standard Audi concert stereo. I'm leaving that exactly how it is. I put CarPlay in the previous one, that went terribly wrong. I thought I'd fried the ECU when I put that stereo in the car, going, what, like video here, like Jesus. So I'm leaving that well alone. This has the 6-speed manual. The previous car was a 6-speed S-tronic. We don't have the mag ride like the last did, but that's a good thing. The reason it's a good thing is because it is plagued with issues. I got lucky with it in the last car, didn't have any problems, but I'm glad this car hasn't got that mag ride because I don't want to deal with that issue. They updated the dash. On the previous car it was red, this is black and white on the centre screen, and as you can see we've done 73,675 miles, which is just not a lot of mileage at all really. And all in all, in here it is a nice car. We've got Alcantara on the door cards as that match the seat, the headlining, and it is just a nice car. It needs a clean. These cars from auctions always need a little bit of a clean, but as a whole, it is just a nice little example of an Audi TT. So this car has the 2-litre TSFI engine in it, and I believe these engines are pretty bulletproof, they're pretty bomb-proof. It is the same as a Mk5 Golf GTI. I believe this car basically is underneath a Mk5 Golf GTI. Again, this is not a Quattro Audi TT. This is just a front-wheel drive, a 6-speed manual front-wheel drive car, so there's no hard deck system to worry about. It's just a nice little car. I have got history and a receipt for the timing chain, the timing belt and the water pump. That's been done, so we don't have to worry about that. So we've got Xenon headlights with the screen wash, we've got front fog lights. The car's just a nice example of all TTs of this generation, and come with the active aero spoiler. That kind of just shouts to everybody when it's up, yeah, I'm speeding, because it activates at 75 miles an hour and it goes back down at 50. There is a manual override of course in the car, that's why it's up, because it's stationary. But if you're on the motorway and you see a TT with its spoiler up, 9 times out of 10 they've probably been speeding, because they activate it 5 mile an hour over the speed limit and they go back down at 50 mile an hour. So hey-oh. Right, okay then, so problems with this car. All cars from auctions tend to come with the problems. This has got a few, and I think they're quite minor ones if I'm completely honest with you. The first problem then is a massive Audi TT common issue, Mk2 of this generation. It happened on the black car as well, and that's the bonnet latch. As you can see, this slots out, so it's clearly broke, so we need a new bonnet latch. It does open, hence the bonnet's open, but it's just not sitting properly. I'm going to take it apart and see if it's just not on there properly or it's the wrong one. They're not that expensive. They've gone up since I did the other one that I did, the black car. I think it was about 27-30 quid, and I think they're now like 35-40 quid. Everything's gone up, but hey-oh, it is what it is. The other issue then, so when I saw this car, when you look at these cars at auction with BCA, you can see the registration number. When I looked at the registration number and I looked at the MOT history, I saw that on its last MOT it did pass, but it had 2 advisories for the front brake pads and the rear brake pads. Now, the brake pads have been done on this car because it's in the service history. I've got a receipt to say they've been done, but only the brake pads have been done, not the disc. And this is the passenger side front disc, and it just, like, look at the ripples in that disc. There's a lip on it. They just don't look that healthy. Like, and look at the back ones. The back ones are even worse. So the discs have done about, the pads, sorry, have done about 3,000 miles, but like, we're going to do them discs. I could reuse the pads because they're under 3,000 miles, but is it worth the hassle? Do I stick some, do I just stick discs and pads on it all around? When I priced it up at GSF for a mid-range brand, I think they were Febby Bilsteins, to be honest. It was about £110 for discs and pads front and rear. So is it worthwhile just doing discs and pads front and rear for that peace of mind when we come to sell the car? And that is pretty much all so far, all that I picked up with the car. The temperature gauge sits bang on 19, doesn't go down, so the thermostat must be okay. I might do the cam follower because I've got nothing history. They're not a big job and they're quite common on these, so I might chuck a cam follower in it. Again, relatively inexpensive, about 20 quid for the kit. So I might do a cam follower, discs and pads, and that bonnet latch, and that is, I think, pretty much us. I think we're done at that. Like, we're not committing too much. It's a nice car, low mileage, low owners, and I think there's, even with that money spent, I think I can advertise the car at about £1,200 to £1,500 more than I paid for it, and hopefully get around £800 to £1,000 profit from the car, and that isn't bad to get to that pot what we're going to for the Focus RS. Now, I'm not talking figures, and I'm talking in code, and that's because I am filming in the background a behind the scenes video where I'm talking about how much I paid for the 500 and the profit and the Mini, and I'll talk about when this car goes, that video will release, because this will be I'm going to do it for 3 cars behind the scenes, so we'll talk about profits. That video is to come. Yeah, let's have a look in the boot then quick. In the boot then, we've even got some floor mats. I mean, they don't look the best condition, they might clean up. Have a look under here. So these are known for leaks, but it's all dry. Have a look down there, it's all bone dry. No spare wheel. That brace is missing, so we might see if we can get one of them actually. Locking wheel nut key we found it, it's in our Audi bag. So I might put a litre of oil in that for the new owner as well. But yeah, it's all here. Everything is all here. On the surface, the car does look nice and clean, and it is a nice clean example, but it is going to need a bit of BAM Motors detailing just to get all these nooks and crannies nice and clean. I think that's it. I think that's all we've got to say. Like I said, the car's got full service history, low mileage, 2 keys, 3 previous owners. It's a nice example, and I think I'll do all right. I don't think there's not a lot of, not thousands upon thousands of pounds like I said, but there is a little bit of profit in the car, to say the least. So yeah, let me know what you think of this. Have I made a stupid mistake buying a car that I've already had on the channel, or is it a good decision because there's money in it for the Road to RS series? You let me know in the comments down below, and I'm interested to kind of know what you think about it. What do you think about this Mk2 Audi TT? Does it look as clean on video as I'm claiming it is? Or the other thing we'll do is that I like to do is change the number plates, because I think they look a bit tired, so we put some new number plates on it, and I always think it improves the look of the car as well. So let me talk about the history quickly of this car. So it has got full service history, as I've said. Now, I've had a look in, I've got a full Audi leather owner's like book pack. I've got all the books that come with the car from new. Right. In that history, this is how well documented the history of this car is. In the history, I found that this car was purchased brand new at an Audi dealership in Edinburgh. So that's where the car was purchased new. From Edinburgh, it then went to like the north of the Lake District, where it spent a couple of years of its life, and then finally, you might have clocked it on the number plates, it finished its life up in Wales. So the dealership on the number plate is Llandudno Junction Car Centre. That's on the number plate. And the previous owner on the logbook lived in Bangor, and it was serviced at a garage since 2018 in Bangor yearly. Every year, every November, it was serviced and MOT'd at this garage. So I'm going to ring them, see if they can give me a little bit more history of the car, like some invoices rather than just stamps in the book. But that's how much history I've got with the car. Like, I can tell you where it started its life. I can tell you that it's been to North Wales and spent the last 8-9 years in North Wales. I can also tell you that it was part exchange at a dealership in Southport, BMW main dealership called Halliwell Jones. That's how much history I've got with this car. So again, it is a nice example. Now, the black car then was kind of the opposite to this, in the respect of it. I didn't have all that history. I had the car and a key, but that outspec'd this car. So that had full red leather, it had cruise control, it had heated seats, it had everything. It had all the bells and whistles, it had a factory sat nav in it. It was all the bells and whistles. It was a full cream of a car. This isn't. This is kind of your entry-level Mk2 Audi TT with small wheels, the half leather, no heated seats, no cruise control, no sat nav. However, I've got all that history with that car. So my question is, what would you prefer? Would you prefer a car that is, they're both mechanically sound, because the black one was a solid car because I went right through it. So would you prefer all that history on a car that's less spec'd, or would you prefer a car that's got all the spec in the world but no history whatsoever? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thanks very much for watching this video. Join me on my Road to RS series. My Mk2 Focus ST is a little bit poorly at the minute. I've been putting a clutch in it. That went a bit wrong. My dad's been to help me. That's going to turn into a video eventually, but the car's just not quite there yet. The pressure bleeder's been ordered, etc. But that's a different video. Probably be after this one, if I'm honest. It'll probably be after this video because the car's still not back on the road. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.